Lori Daybell representing herself. It's like stepping in to dog shit while you're barefoot when you were so sure that your dog had been house trained. Lori cross-examining people. It's a lot like biting into a stale, rubbery potato chip when all you wanted was something salty and crunchy. Okay? It's like, I don't know, it's like smiling at some asshole at the damn grocery store when you know good and damn well they're an asshole, but you're going to pretend. You're going to smile. You're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. It's like looking at your overflowing laundry basket and knowing, you just know it's going to take days. It's going to take days to get all that shit cleaned and dried and folded and put up. But folks, Lori's defense, in a nutshell, she can kiss my country ass. How about that? How about that? For Lori to represent herself, it sticks in my craw, and folks, I've got a craw. Her voice, it just somehow, some way, it pisses me off, and you know why it pisses you off. The woman is an evil, diabolical hussy. It's as though we're watching in real time. We're watching her wield some kind of authority. But folks, it's her defense. Think about the cross-examination and her defense. I want to remind y'all, as we finish up the trial of Lori Hussey Daybell, because it's coming. The state is going to rest Thursday or Friday, for sure. And Lori, we'll go into all this about her stupid ass subpoenas for her witnesses. We'll go into that. But let me remind you of this fact. A narcissist paints a picture of themselves as being a victim or innocent in all aspects. That's what a narcissist does. They will be offended. Lori is offended with the truth. She cannot handle the truth. But what has been done in darkness, y'all know the other answer to that. What is done in darkness will see the light. Time has a way, y'all. Time. What time is it right now? Do you know what time it is? I'm telling y'all, it is 7:38. And I'm late for Ray Room here. And, I appreciate y'all letting me by with that. But I want to remind you that Lori didn't like that word nonchalant. She did not like that word. She did not want to be known as nonchalant. Come on, y'all. Give me a break. She might as well take her ass back to Pocatello Women's Prison. And she needs to convince these damn women that have been in prison for a long time that she can walk down cell block D and be nonchalant. But being the narcissist that she is, and she is a narcissist, this isn't my opinion. Judge Boyce explained it all to us at Lori's sentencing. She's absolutely hyper religiosity with narcissistic features. How many narcissists are there out in the world? And how many categories are there of narcissists? Well, I'll tell you as I look at you, the woman is so evil and diabolical that she covers many, many categories of narcissism. A nonchalant narcissist is someone who exhibits narcissistic personality traits while appearing carefree, calm, or unconcerned. Have y'all seen Lori get, like, yes, I know, we'll get to it where she's like, oh, it's part of my case, Judge, let me do it. And the judge shuts her down every damn time. This woman is used to saying to a man, come on, baby. Come on. I'm going to wiggle them around and then we're going to talk. That judge has put the hammer down on her today. Make no mistake. We'll go there. But what's interesting about Lori and her nonchalant, narcissistic features there is that this can be a deceptive facade, y'all. Do you think that Lori doesn't know what a deceptive facade is? She freaking wrote the freaking book on it. She is a freaking liar. But she may be, secretly, and y'all, this is from psychology. I don't deal in anything that isn't peer-reviewed, okay? And if you don't know what peer-reviewed is, I challenge you to go and put in the search engine peer-reviewed articles, okay? You'll find out something that you didn't know, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, they might shrug off criticism, invalidation, with a casual attitude, making it difficult to confront their behavior. And this Hancock woman said, don't flatter yourself. Did Lori come back on her? No. She tuned in to her nonchalant, narcissistic behavior because of what, y'all? She's in a court setting, okay? And as we go through tonight's live, I'm going to share some good news with you. Exactly the environment of a court setting. This woman might as well just hang it up, but we'll go there. You'll see what I'm talking about. But this nonchalant narcissist presents an image of being relaxed and unconcerned, potentially appearing mentally healthy. Lori Hussey Daybell wants everybody to know that she's mentally healthy, okay? She wants everyone to say she's so articulate. She's doing her best. They might dismiss concerns. They might, y'all. Lori might dismiss concerns or criticisms with a casual shrug or a lack of emotional engagement. Have y'all seen Lori get emotional at all? I mean, like, more than her power trip shit. Has anyone seen Lori, Don't give me this bullshit. Well, KJ opening statements when she's talking about Tolly, she needed a tissue. She can take that tissue and shove it straight up her ass. She is a liar. A freaking liar. Despite Lori's outward appearance, she's deeply needy and insecure. And let me just be clear with y'all. To some degree, all humanity is needy and insecure. But that does not mean, oh, I'm needy and I'm insecure, so I'm going to go latch onto this stupid ass man ain't got a damn dick this damn big, and I'm going to pretend he's the freaking bee's knees or whatever the hell. They often maintain a distance in relationships, creating a sense of detachment and possibly avoiding close emotional connections. And this is where I have to part ways with nonchalant narcissists. You can look them up. She does have those features of being nonchalant, just as the state has presented it. But she's also proven that she can take her narcissism and make a man and woman, Melanie Gibbs, Zulema. Y'all tell me I'm wrong. She is playing both sides, y'all. Maybe emotionally and mentally and all that with the women, but I'll tell you what, she can take a man and she can make him feel like they're so connected, that there's no one else but them in the world and all that. Lori knows how to do all that shit. She knows how to put it out there. She knows how to fling it around and shake that ass. She knows how to do it. But here's some good news, y'all. This isn't just KJ giving you the good news. This is from the National Institutes of Health when it comes to nonchalant narcissists. While they may outwardly seem unconcerned, creating a sense of detachment, research suggests that they experience, y'all, Lori is experiencing social pain. Social pain. In other words, when KJ kids around on difficult research with Crusher K. Easton there, and that's the channel to be for. Right there, you got to go there. That is a victim's family member. But let's get back to it. When I kid around and I talk about, oh, her ass is puckering, she's so frustrated, she's so mad, folks, that's not even the tip of the iceberg, what this woman is feeling right now. She is in a court setting. She is a full-blown, freaking on steroids narcissist. And in my opinion, she's demon-possessed. And the demon is always trapped in the corner. So she is, y'all. I believe it. People can disagree with me. Hey, I'm right there, but let's be respectful. And I'll tell y'all this, why I'm just going to say it now. If anybody ever says anything negative to Fancy Nancy again, they need to come talk to me. Because I'm telling you, Fancy Nancy is an uplifting, loving, caring, special person. And before this live stream happened, I learned some news and it hurts me. And people need to respect one another. And if you don't freaking agree with somebody, you don't have to be a damn asshole about it. Just go on. If it's that important that someone else line up with what you're thinking, then well, who the hell are they anyway if they're not thinking the way you are? Go to someone else. It's called confirmation bias. So let's get back to this social pain. Lori is feeling it. And because she is being so nonchalant while she was committing the crime, now that she is on trial, a symptom would be She can't confront. She cannot confront herself. She can confront everyone else. Confrontation sometimes does imply blame, right? You confront somebody, 9 times out of 10, you're blaming their ass. But she's having difficulty doing that because she is trying to make the jury think that she knows what the hell she's doing. But this whole, judge, you gotta change your mind shit, it's making her look bad, really bad. So, she's having social pain. She's having difficulty trying to confront in cross-examination. Y'all, has she really been that aggressive? Could you imagine some of these defense attorneys that y'all watched trials in the past go off the deep end? Namely, John Pryor. He was a good defense attorney. Y'all know John Pryor was a good defense attorney. He gave Chad Daybell very good, robust defense. Nermy for the Jodi Arias. Him and his... I forgot her name, y'all. It's been so long and I'm getting old. They gave Jodi Arias a good defense. Let me just see what y'all are saying. I'm just going on and on. Rad Joe says her demon is running out of showtime. It's fixing to get locked away. Which is actually the whole point of me saying what I did about all the things that she is experiencing right now. The Rays know that KJ's been wrong many, many times. And I said that she would throw her hands up in the air and let her defense team take over. Y'all, because the state is closing Thursday or Friday, I'm thinking it's Thursday, and she's supposed to have her defense, I think she's going to see it through, y'all. And you know what else heightens my excitement? Y'all, I wasn't sure that she was going to testify. But now it seems like it's inevitable. She's going to do it, y'all. It's going to be so freaking stupid. You just wait. She's going to get some say, well, KJ, she's a narcissist. She ain't going to let nobody make her look bad. And that's true. But she will not allow that narcissism to back off. She is moving forward with it because she knows this is her last hoorah. You better believe it. So, back to this court setting and what she's in, y'all. Think about it. She is in a court setting with her narcissism and, in my view, her demon possession. She's only allowed the rules and procedures, which makes me wonder why this judge keeps giving in to all this bullshit. We're talking about rules and procedure. If this judge wants to be up in the freaking air, about Zach Cox testifying, give me a break. 1 minute he say, none of your witnesses. Well, the only way the judge, I guess that was his message to the state, like, okay, she wants Zach Cox. Can you get with him quickly or whatever? You know what I think? I think the state of Arizona should be like, hey, he wasn't properly served. If he don't show up, the judge, he did say that. He said, well, if he doesn't show up, then I ain't got shit to worry about, basically, right? But this courtroom setting of Lori, and I hope this is making many people feel better over the fact that she is acting as her own defense, and it's just shitty as hell that she thinks she has some kind of power in that courtroom. And there is pure power in defending yourself when you are innocent. But when you're guilty as hell, this woman is using man's law and the procedures and everything, and the judge is letting her by with all this shit. to make a farce of it. But then again, that's man's law. Let her do something with God's law. Let her think that she can break God's law and that she'll just walk on through. Let's just see what happens. And every one of us that have any kind of faith and belief are going to know the answer to that. One day, we will all be in the presence of God. Yeah! But anyway, let's get back to this. The court setting. What the state has been able to do, I found in my research. Okay? You ready? You ready? Do not disclose anything personal, including feelings, when interacting with the defendant. Has Trina K showed any emotion? Has Trina K been shitty with Lori? She hasn't. A lot of us would like to infer that. We'd like to be like, yeah, you go, Trina. Get her, Trina. But she has positioned herself as the prosecutor for the state of Arizona, and she has held herself to that higher standard, in my opinion. Trina K is doing a good job. I've noticed in comments that some people are like, why ain't she asking her this or that? Why won't she jump on that? And even KJ's like, I don't understand why they didn't explore when Lori got out and opened the door about phone calls and stuff. The state could have come back and said, okay, what was in those phone calls, right? Right? But they're trying to keep it simple because she's a hooker and she's guilty as hell. But another thing is that the state has not taken the bait of that damn hooker. You think that Lori doesn't know that she's trying to get under the state's skin? She's trying to bypass an officer of the court who's brought a case against her by going, judge, judge, judge. What? She's not proud of what has been stipulated thus far? Give me a break. This woman has done nothing but shit all over this damn trial. But the judge has toned it down by stopping her, and he even talks about it. We'll talk about it here after I get done with this. He's already told her, you can't ask this, you can't do that, don't do it, come to me. He's trying to alleviate what the jury will see. One thing that Trina K has done for the state of Arizona in the representation of the state, and her demeanor, her questioning, her interactions with the defendant, she has been indifferent and unemotional, if you really think about that. And that is important, y'all. Indifferent and unemotional. No emotion, neutral, all this and that. That is an officer of the court. You have to have that neutrality there. People don't really understand sometimes, some people, that it's the state has just as much in trying to keep the trial fair and honest and all of that as the defendant would want or the judge would want. But Lori is trying to bypass the state. It'd be different if she says something in her cross-examination and the judge says sustained and she leaves it alone, like most seasoned attorneys would. You don't argue with the freaking judge. But this woman has argued with everyone in her life because nobody takes this bitch serious when she talks her shit. But this judge has been professional as well, and he's okay. And we've had comments in the here and there where some have said that the judge is being too lenient. Well, I'll tell you what. She wanted the freaking Happy Meal with the toy inside, didn't she? Well, now it's like, I I don't want this Happy Meal or this toy anymore. Judge, could you just trade this in for an adult meal and just forget that we've already paid for the Happy Meal, and Judge, you can keep the toy because I'm sitting here flirting with your ass. So it's important in a court setting that this is going on, and I see it, and I hope you're seeing it, because it cannot be just what Lori is saying or what she's implying. We do need to take in consideration her questions and what her thought process could be about what she's trying to say about her defense. But you and I both know, after 5+ years, none of us have been able to wrap it around our brains, no matter how smart or common sense we are. This hooker, she's an enigma. She will be studied by FBI, CIA, law enforcement, freaking continual studies. She is a serial killer. She is the epitome of evil, criminal manipulation through sexuality. My views. Another thing is that Lori can't handle Trina K there because Trina K is assertive and she's not emotional. And folks, I'm telling you these descriptors of Trina K because it is in peer review articles that narcissists cannot stand these things. So she cannot stand it that Trina K is assertive, but at the same time, she's trying to act like she's competent to be her own attorney. It says, and general reflections about a narcissist's lack of professionalism or bad behavior are effective. So every time that judge has to sustain Lori, and he's like, and today was the day. That is something she cannot freaking stand. You talk about social pain of a narcissist. Folks, she's hurting. She's in her cell tonight. She's thinking about her day and how that judge shut her down left and right, up and down and all around. You think she's her facade of being calm and nonchalant and just okay, whatever. Folks, deep in her, she's in more pain than any of us could understand. And should we have empathy for that? Not for her, but for the pain that people that actually care and have love for life and people and others and they're lawful and all of that. I have no sympathy for a woman who could very easily embrace love, protection, care, responsibility, commitment. She could do those things, but she chooses not to. And some people say it's because of her mental illness. And I don't know either way on that. I do know she's mentally ill. But I also believe that she is spiritually, y'all. She is spiritually sick. She is sick. And you know how I know that? Because old KJ's been there, y'all. I've never wanted to hurt nobody. But I know what it feels to be spiritually sick. And I can only see what I recognize. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not going to look upon something for the first time and say, oh, I know what that is, if it's the first time I've seen that shit. So Trina K is putting the screws to Lori. And people are, looking at this trial more about the one testifying and what the content of that is, along with Lori's questioning. And also Trina K and also the judge. But when you add around the whole environment of the victims' family members that are sitting in the courtroom, or the ones that aren't there, they're keeping an eye on the trial and how hurt they are and how they want to see justice for Charles. You add all of that together, folks, and I guarantee you, in your lifetime, you will never see this type of trial again. Not even in Brandon Boudreaux. So, yes, OKJ, I was like, I didn't want to listen. Y'all saw the comments on Difficult Research. I was calling her a hooker. I was madder than hell. I don't like to see her out there doing that. It's a freaking damn game to her. There ain't nothing real about it. She knows damn well. She knows she and Alex premeditated the murder of Charles Vallow. And she's out here acting. That's what pisses me off. More than any question or any way she walks in the room, what she's fucking wearing. Excuse me. See, I'm an example. How many times have you heard the F word out of my mouth? So, for anyone that had a shitty day, because this woman, or yesterday, or ever since this trial started, trust me when I say, it is nothing. Your discomfort, your pain, whatever it is not hurting as much as what that hooker is going through right now. Because she has made a conscious decision to lie in her defense. Let me repeat that. She is lying in her defense. And if she's lying down in her defense, it's because she's exhausted. Because man's law is cruel. But she don't have a clue about God's law. A person who feels entitled to treat another person disrespectfully because they feel it is their right, for some reason, is usually emotionally unhealthy. And you have to stay calm. And that's what Trina K has done. Remain impersonal. And generally reflect a narcissist's bad behavior. And that's what Trina K and the judge has done. The judge hasn't done it to do anything wrong to Lori. He's taken enough, y'all. And he's continuing to give her a little rope. But she's hanging herself. He's trying to help. He's trying to put it on the record that he's doing, hey, do you really want to open that door? That judge can absolutely take off his damn robe when he gets home, lay down on a pillow and go to sleep and feel okay about it. Crowdsource Illumination says it's because she feels everything she does has a higher purpose. So bad things are justified in pursuit of the larger calling. She's nuts, says CSI. And that is so revealing. You know, it really is. Hi, Harley62. Travel of X says, I think the judge knows she's guilty as heck. Marilyn Pastor says, the hooker is guilty as hell. That's a good one. Oh, is it a new vocabulary, Marilyn? Is it something that you've never heard before? Oh, Beach Bum says, Lori has nerve, doesn't she? She should be thankful lightning didn't strike her. That freaking damn stun belt might if she keeps her shit up walking in the courtroom. Damn sashaying around acting like she's all that in a damn box of crackers. Come on, y'all. You know it. She did get a bit snarky with the judge today. Jill, where have you been? Did you not hear her? He told her sustained and she... More than, I know, at least 4 times. I mean, that is so disrespectful. A seasoned attorney would never, they might add something and she tried to do that, but her tone. Ah, I'll give you some nookie, Judge. Just let me have my way. It is a slam dunk case, Jet said Jay. I don't know who you're talking to. Y'all, are y'all really going there with me tonight? You haven't heard the evidence? Well, okay, let's just, I want to set your mind at ease if at all possible. Okay, Jet said Jay. At 10:04 a.m., Trina K says she became aware that Larry Woodcock was served with a subpoena in Louisiana and his next of kin victims' rights were violated because the subpoena included his address and personal information. Trina asked the judge to seal the subpoena and the judge agrees. Lori says, y'all, that Larry Woodcock was not intended to be subpoenaed and that it was an oversight. This woman is in jail 23 out of 24 hours a day. What oversight did she not get? Did she not get the paperwork for more than a second? Folks, I just signed them all. I did not check them. It's my own fault. I apologize to the family. She will apologize in trying to convince the judge that this was all just an oversight, but she ain't got enough freaking woman in her to apologize for the fact that she murdered Kay's brother, Cresha's uncle, other family members. She'll apologize because it's self-deprecating. That's what narcissists do. Self-deprecating means she says things about herself bad or whatever. We all do it, but we don't do it like that. It's part of the way that people communicate and all that. Well, this woman, she is, it's like a demon squirming around in her body. And whatever comes out of her mouth, she really believes that other people are going to believe it. But the judge asked Lori if she just signed a stack of subpoenas or knows who she even subpoenaed. She says she believes she knows, y'all. And then the judge says, for the next trial, Lori, you need to pay more attention. Now, did that judge have to do that? No, he didn't do it because he liked her. He did it because he's got to damn deal with her fucking shit. There I go again with the F word, y'all. I'm sorry. I am the poster child for the fact that I get in a bad mood because I hear her. Okay? That is exactly why I didn't want to hear her yesterday asking questions of the medical examiner. Because she is a freaking demon. And it's her handiwork. Judge tells Lori he's expecting her not to ask the type of questions to law enforcement as to why the investigation took so long or what was happening with the investigation. And if Lori wants to ask those questions, she needs to ask to take a break and speak with the judge. He does not want any more of this bullshit she's spewing. When he sustains something, he don't want the jurors hearing her go, but judge, it's part of the case. You think about that general statement, it's part of the case. She's putting it out there, y'all. She's diabolical. She's putting it out there. It's part of the case. So the jurors will be like, what are they not telling us that she's trying to tell us? Well, I'll tell you what, if any of these jurors want to take a hook on that and let her reel them in, just one of them. If one of those jurors want to do that, I can't wait till they get done and it's a hung jury or whatever and they go home and find out she's a freaking serial killer. I hope they can live with themselves. And I hope their name never comes up because it wouldn't be nice. It wouldn't be pretty. So she absolutely, y'all, she wants to bring up those questions because this investigation was ongoing. And if it wouldn't have been for Kay Woodcock calling in and asking about all this and talking to them about JJ and all this other stuff, and they found out about Brandon Boudreaux, the bottom line is, y'all, they would have left it in the freaking wind. And for them, you know, they can rectify it now, right? Oh, they can convict her and Charles will get his justice. If they really want to rectify things, they need to bring charges to that damn asshole Chad Daybell. To sit there and say that they don't have enough evidence to get him for conspiracy to commit murder. Well, they can kiss my country ass. So that was another issue. Then the judge is now discussing a video. A video, y'all. It's probably here on YouTube that Janice and Summer have watched. And Lori wants Summer and Janice to come talk about this video. Y'all, anyone with a tiny itty bitty brain cell like OKJ would know that what the hell? What the hell does a video on YouTube that the mother and the sister of a serial killer watched? It could be any of them. It could be, hey, y'all, what if Janice and Summer watched KJ and the Ray? Huh? Wonder if that's the video, huh? Which one was it when Lori was the queen of the 144,000? Or, you know, her and Veronica getting it on or whatever? Or how about Chad and his big penis chin? Huh? What if that was the video that Janice and Summer watched and they want to come into court, y'all? I would immediately become famous, and then the next thing you know, KJ finishes out Donna Adelson case, and the channel's over, and no one ever hears from me again. That's not true. I would never, ever run away. I'd always go to difficult research, though. Everyone would know that I was there. But, so he comes up and the judge says, unless the video comes in and someone lays foundation, witnesses can't testify about what they saw in the video. Y'all, OKJ needs a subpoena. Janice and Summer have watched my video on Lori, me acting like Lori. And Lori wants, you know, Janice and Summer there to talk about my video. And they bring me in there so that I can build the foundation. Yes, I shot this video. I was wearing blush and eyeshadow and mascara. And I was wearing a big long wig. And I was playing with a little itty bitty gherkin pickle. But anyway, y'all, think about, you know, people are saying that this isn't a slam dunk case and what evidence do they have anyway? Think about how she's... Y'all, do y'all really... You know, some people want to say the words holding her own. What? Holding her own by asking stupid-ass questions and never ever getting to all her manipulating bullshit that she wants to tell everybody is her truth? Remember what I said, y'all. Remember what I said. Lori will always be offended with the truth. You know it. I hope you're feeling better. Because I'm telling you right now, this damn hooker, this wench, this thing 5 and dime, she's going to get convicted. Pure and simple. There's no two ways about it. Now, I know. If you think about O.J. Simpson and Casey Anthony, folks, really? Does anyone think that Lori could be in that category with them and get out of it all? Come on, y'all. Think about all the hard work that went into all this. Yes, their investigation drug ass. But look at all the forensic evidence that they collected. The people that's come in, we're talking about freaking trajectory rods through Charles's body. They weren't doing that just to be doing that. They wanted to show forensic evidence to prove her guilt. Because, like, oh, okay, Jay, well, okay, but Alex was the one that shot. Doesn't mean Lori shot. Folks, she didn't have to shoot Charles. She just conspired with Alex. And as I said today, and many agreed, it's really going to come down to the nail in the coffin. And that is when they play Charles Vallow's body cam, where he's showing he's scared, he's worried, he's concerned, he's begging. He says that Lori wants to murder him. What more does a jury member need? Judge is now reviewing Lori's witness list with her. And by the way, I apologize. These are all Nate Eaton's tweets, okay? I apologize. I should have said that right off the bat. But I wanted to get the tail end of it because everyone was getting a bad taste in their mouth through all of this. And people were getting in moods and taking it out on other people. And they didn't know they were doing it, I believe. I don't think people were meaning it at all. But I just want to take the tail end of this so you'll understand. Not only does Lori know what social pain is, the bottom line is her narcissism is not, y'all. Look at me. Her narcissism is not being fed. Maybe just a little bit because she is in the limelight and she knows that a lot of people are watching this trial. But anything else, in the courtroom setting, she looks so bad, y'all. And these jurors have got to see it. So the judge is now reviewing Lori's witness list with her. First name, Vaisia, and I don't know how to say her last name, Tylee's friend. Judge asked if they found Vaisia. Lori says she needs to check with her investigator. Folks, we are in the middle of a trial, and he is asking Lori this outside of the presence of the jury. He's asking her this stuff, and the deadlines are past, y'all. Lori says she needs to check about Gabriel Bonita, the former bishop of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who was the bishop for Charles and Lori. Judge asks if he's been served with subpoena, and Lori says they'll look it up. Another witness, Ashlyn Rind. Lori says she's not been found or served. Gabrielle Bonilla has not been served. Lori is unsure if Barry Cox has been served. Judge says she's out of time for these witnesses as the state is resting on Thursday or Monday at the latest. Even if they are found and served to testify, the judge needs to know what relevant information they have to the case. And the state would need to interview them within the next day or so. But they could still be excluded because it's late. And Lori asked about Zach Cox and what relevant information he has. And she says, he was with my brother Adam Cox that day on the 11th and had communication with Adam and Charles that day and prior to that. So what? The only thing he could say would be something neutral. Is it going to help you, woman? Leave Zach Cox out of it because she'll open that door. And when she does, we'll all be happy to walk in that door with her when the state goes to town on Zach Cox talking about how much of a freaking fruitcake she is. The judge asked for more specifics about that, and Trina Kay says she spoke with Zach Cox and he has no idea why he would be called as a witness. Jeff White, Lori's investigator, just walked in. The judge asked him if he spoke with Zach Cox and what relevant information he could have related to the trial. And White says they spoke about his father and about information that is relevant to Charles. And the judge asks if Zach has been served a subpoena. And Jeff says, as far as I know. And the judge says, well, we will see if he actually gets served and shows up at court. If he doesn't, it's not an issue I need to deal with. If he does, judge says they will need to work it out to see if Zach can ever testify. And the state of Arizona doesn't need to waste their freaking time, except, of course, if Trina K's like, yes, no objection. Let Zach, let him. Knowing good and damn well it's going to bury her even more. Folks, Lori doesn't even see the forest through the trees. She thinks this story that she told, y'all, she's going to bring in her whole interview in her defense. That's going to fill up space. Then she's going to do something that's going to bring Tylee into it. And then we're going to have to listen to Tylee's interview. Because that's how Lori rolls. She wants it to look like her and Tylee were on the same page, saying the same shit. And that's going to prove her innocence, that she didn't do anything. Did Tylee know that Lori said we're going to be like Nephi to her brother Alex? So then let's go here. Lori asked about something found in the phone, talking about Charles's phone. Scheduled phone date with Nancy Jo Hancock on July 11th. Lori goes through and lists a few other dates that were found in Charles's phone. And Trina K objects based on relevance, and the judge sustains. And then Trina asks for a sidebar. Judge says no. The objection is sustained, and Lori says this is relevant. So not only was Trina K trying to say, can we have a sidebar? In other words, let's shut this down. Now Lori has not only done it once, she's done it twice in open court in front of the jurors. And don't get me wrong. If you're going to defend yourself, go for it. But when you are lying through your freaking teeth and you want jurors to think you're innocent because you've done some evil act, you should reap it. Whoever you are that will go out here and want to convince people that you've done nothing wrong when you know good and damn well we all, every damn one of us, fall short of the glory of God. Pure and simple. We might go days and just be as good as we can be. But folks, nobody's perfect. But I'll tell you what, the flip side of that is there is someone who's evil as hell. And that's Lori Hussey Daybell. Lori asked if this Werther fella who was on the stand learned Charles sent someone $1,000. And Trina objects on relevance, and it's sustained. Well, I'll tell you what, Lori Hooker. Wasn't you handing $1,000 to Christina Howard? Here, Christina, I want you to know I've got money. I've got money, Christina. I'm trying to lure you into my cult. Maybe down the road, you and me and Chad, we can be in our own little threesome. We'll be sister wives, Christina. But here's $1,000, and I hope you can use it. Give me a break. Lori asked Werther's role in going through the data of her husband's phone, and he says there was concerns about the timeline, and he went through the location data of the phone. Then Lori asked about a woman Charles was going to meet at the airport, and Trina objects based on relevance, and the judge sustains. Now, isn't that just rich? Charles, if he was going to meet some woman in an airport, if Lori's going to bring it up, is it true or is it not? Is there evidence? Just because she says it's in the phone doesn't mean it's there. She knows it's not going to be admitted. Even in her defense, it's not going to be admitted. Y'all think that she's going to come in on her defense and start showing some of the in the discovery where the text messages and stuff? You think she's got them all picked out, how Charles was mean, and telling her, you better come home, Lori, I'm tired of this, or whatever? Is she going to shit all over Charles Vallow? You damn right she is. And if she can, she will, but I doubt she's got that info. I just don't believe that. And maybe she wants the jury to believe that's true. But maybe he wanted to meet someone at the airport. This woman left his ass for 58 days, took off, was screwing some little itty-bitty gherkin, nasty-ass sling blade. I'm Chad Daybell kind of person. He's a man. You want to see a picture of Charles Vallow? Oh, I'm telling you, that's a good-looking guy. Nice build. Oh, my God. Sexy as hell. Charles Vallow is a sexy man, y'all. I'm just telling you right now. And if he's had his, he's a man, y'all. Just as we are. There are men on here and there are women on here. We're women. And Lori was a stupid-ass woman who could have been smart and divorced her husband and had a settlement or whatever and went on and left the kids with whoever and never murdered a damn person. That shows you how stupid she was. Trina objected to that. Lori argues that it's relevant to what's going on in June and July. And the judge stands by the objection, and Lori asks Werther if he learned what who the woman was. And there was another objection, and it was sustained again. Lori wants to broadcast to the jury that Charles wasn't some sweet and love man. The man was in love with her. She knows this. But he was a man, and he thought it was over. She broke his damn heart. He was trying to move on. Most men would do that. But it was irrelevant. But the jury heard it. Lori begins asking about this report that this Werther fella had compiled. Lori says there are some interesting contrasting things in the report. You made a note of his daily text messages of love and devotion to me. Do you remember that? And Werther does not remember that. She being the narcissistic, evil-ass woman she is, she wanted him to say, yes, there were texts in there where Charles was telling you of his undying love and how beautiful you were and sexy and wonderful and perfect and all you're a lowercase she, whatever the hell. She would have loved to have heard that, but he said, I don't remember. And then she says, you also made a note of the interactions. See how she does that? He says he doesn't remember, but she says, you also. She's trying to fool the jury there by saying, even though he said he didn't remember, I just told you that he had texts about his undying love and devotion to me. And jurors, do you know what the word contrast means? And she says, you made of interactions with women who he was attempting to date. So here she is, trying to tell the jury members that there are text messages that Charles was telling her all this lovey-dovey stuff, but at the same time, he's trying to get in dates. What the freak? What the freak was she doing? She was doing the twerking and dancing and sending videos to Chad Daybell, bouncing up and down with her freaking titty implants and all that, shaking that ass in her damn yoga pants. She is listening to Chad go on and on about the storm and loin fire and how he wants her naked and how he laid in bed and he pretended that she was a spirit on top of him. And they were bumping and grinding just like they did that weekend when Charles was away. You know what I'm talking about. When she questioned Nancy Joe, I was screaming at my phone. If that ain't the pot calling the kettle black, says NF Mom. Well, hell, Rachel Smith, a very good state's attorney there. Went and worked for the state of Idaho there. She came in from another state. My God. She called her a hypocrite on live TV. Sorry about that, Jill. I think most of us women on here look at Charles and think, wow, I wish those legs wrapped around me. Oh my goodness. You know, I hated what Lori did. I hated, her murdering him. But before she met him, y'all, think about the kind of life he had. I bet all these women were all over him like freaking fly to shit. I'm telling you, man, he was something. I bet he had his fill. But he ran into a nonchalant narcissist. And that was Lori Hussey Daybell. And I will never, ever know her as Lori Vallow. Lori Vallow, Daybell, or nothing. She doesn't deserve to call him her husband. She didn't care. And the jurors have seen this. They're seeing how she treated him after it was an accident, it was self-defense, she says. She wants to ship his cremains to an office instead of someone's personal home. I mean, it's enough that they're shipping them to their home. If you would at least let them know, right? Instead of it ending up at an office. That's pathetic. Sugar Magnolia says Charles is the cream of the crop. Charles was a catch for sure, says Marilyn Pastor. Charles was something, Vicky McNutt says. Beach Fun says, not drunk, not enough, tequila or vodka. Nope, I'd have alcohol poisoning at this stage, says Beach Bum. The jury heard how she treated his loved ones. Exactly, Rad. You know, sometimes, and I'm guilty of this, when I listen to these evil people, whether they're on the stand and this is the first time, y'all, I've watched a defendant who is evil and diabolical defend themselves. I didn't watch the Daryl Brooks or anything like that. I knew there had been other stuff. This was the first time, y'all, because I wanted to get it for sure. Oh, Vicky Minette said Charles was hot. I didn't know what the H stood for. Sorry, Vicky. Beach Bum, I don't know. Trace and Janelle Murphy both were in the courtroom, and I don't know. I wasn't there earlier in the stream for them to tell us, and I haven't really looked at Nate Eaton's beginning updates to see if he said anything about who all was in the courtroom. Rita Lou says she makes a point to say JJ was left in a running car. She cared, yet little does the jury know what she did to him. Oh, yeah. Exactly, Rita Lou. Good point. Kim Nick says Daryl Brooks was unbelievable. CSI Crowdsource Illumination says Charles had a kind heart. Donna, who insists you should have been a detective. I don't think the older boys were there. Beach Bum says, I'm really hoping the jury is putting some things together. I believe it, Beach Bum. And anyone else that's concerned, don't be. Don't be. She's going to be found guilty. Hi, Canyon Jam. Tina Reddington says, Rita, yeah, he was in a running car. She put him in a pet cemetery. Need I say more about that, y'all? JoJo says she also claimed to be worried about her minor daughter being alone after Charles's murder. Right. Of course she didn't want Tylee to be alone. She would have liked to have been there to stroke her and groom her even more into toxicity. So that Lori, every time she looked at her daughter, knew what she'd done to her daughter. And, a narcissist can't stand to look at failure. Tylee wasn't a failure. Lori's mother into Tylee was a failure. Let's just be clear about it. Regardless of what Lori did to Tylee, her light was bright. She had people that she loved and loved her. She cared deeply for JJ. She was his second mother. Should have, I mean, y'all know where what I'm thinking. The fact that she has no one sitting on her side should speak volumes to the jury. Well, I think hadn't the courtroom been kind of full? I know people were saying it was yesterday, so there'd be people sitting on her side that don't even give a crap about her, but maybe the jury's like, are these people here for her? So I don't know. I mean, we know the people. We know if we looked on her side and saw a bunch of people, we could pick out different people that we know that's part of this case. Excuse me. Marilyn Pastor says the older boys were never with them much. There were issues in what I recall. Cindy Kay says, best comment I heard today on Justin's live stream was Lori is a Cupid stunt. That's a new term, isn't it, y'all? Vix Tech says Tylee's got a lot of moms now. Says she should have been a detective. Says the jury members are going to need therapy and prayers because they are being manipulated and they are going to realize it and it will be a head spin. Oh, Donna, when that body cam is played, I cannot wait. I cannot wait when I hear, we've heard it I have several times, but it'll be just like the first time for me because I know the juries are going to hear it. The jurors are going to hear every word of that. And knowing at that time, even though we're getting a 30-minute delay, that they were there when all hell broke loose and you see the demon in that hooker. The one that will never get out of the corner. Who will always be offended by truth. So I feel better. I hope you feel better. Starting tomorrow, KJ's going to do my best not to say things like I'd love to go to Arizona and jump over the banister and beat her ass and that I've got the money to get myself out of a simple assault and contempt of court. You know, I'm going to start tomorrow and I'm going to really start homing in on the fact that she is narcissistic and the courtroom setting is not good for her. There ain't enough Pepto-Bismol or enemas or anything you can think of that's going to stop this dang hooker from shitting all over herself. She's trying to do it to others, but all she's doing is sitting in her own shit. So, I hope all of y'all understand that I want to see y'all hold me to, hold my feet to the fire when I go on Crusher K. Easton's of Difficult Research. Remind me that I don't have to lose my mind like I always do. But I will always respect and honor all thoughts and opinions. Sometimes, y'all. Sometimes you've got to vent out. It's got to go somewhere. And it doesn't need to stay in here. So with that said, I love you. I love you, love you, love you. Sincerely, sincerely, sincerely. The eyes are the mirror to the soul. Just remember that. And know that we will get justice through understanding. We will see justice for Charles Vallow. We will see justice for Brandon Boudreaux. We will see ultimate justice. And most importantly, besides that, the victims' family members continue to pray. Think good thoughts if you don't pray. Just be there to be supportive, whether monetarily. With Kresha, she needs all the support we can give her. Like, subscribe, do all those things. Y'all know I'm not about that. But I am about it with Difficult Research and Kresha K. Easton because she absolutely deserves everything that we can do for her. She has worked her ass off, and she's going through a lot of trauma right now. Having to know, just yesterday, they did medical examining of her uncle. So I love you, and y'all have a good evening. Leave your comments. Tell me something. If you hadn't got, if you're in a shitty mood because of this hooker, put it in the comments. Just vent it out. I completely understand. I guarantee you, OKJ never can vent enough. So do it in the comments on the rewatch. I love you, and keep on looking.